Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Shad and we're here with another video for y'all today. And I'm kind of excited to do this one because the Nuggets and Jamal Murray are both streaking at the moment, and there is a lot to talk about, specifically with Jamal Murray, which is going to be the focus of this video. He is starting to find his stride, and that is super scary for the rest of the league. His first 5 games of the season, Jamal Murray was averaging 12 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds on 41% from the field and 30% from 3. In the last 5 games of the season, through the Rockets game, Jamal Murray is averaging 21 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds on an increased 44% from the field and 37% from 3. The early season struggles were very predictable and very explainable. As much as he was clamoring to come back and he was ready to just get back out there on the floor, his body and his mental wasn't ready. And you could see that reflecting in how he was playing. He was playing very slow. He was playing jagged. He was still trying to find his legs. There was a lot that he had to overcome. Natural progression, 20 games into the season, and he's turned a corner. There was a prophecy put out there more or less about Jamal Murray by Jokic. Jokic had said that he expects Jamal Murray to be bad for about 20 games or so. Let's take a step forward in this video and go over his top performances. And by his, I mean Jamal Murray's, because that's who we're talking about today. With this section, I just want to go over the things that have been going really well for Jamal Murray over this past stretch of the season and how he's finding his groove again. The types of buckets that he's making, the types of passes that he's making, and overall, how has his game been over the last couple games or so. In this game against the Rockets, Jamal Murray finished with 31 points, 5 assists on 11 of 17 shooting from the field, and 4 of 8 from 3 in what is, I think, hands down his best game of the season individually. Like I said before, I want to use these games to kind of go over the types of buckets that he's making as a player who is a shot creator first and foremost, someone who is a dynamic scorer as a primary, as a secondary. There are certain things that you want to look out for that kind of like check mark his progress coming back from the injury and such. Of his 11 made field goals in this game, he made 4 isolation 3-point shots, which included a bunch of dynamic moves like the step backs, like the side steps that we're used to seeing from Jamal Murray that gave him this title of a really good shot creator. He added 3 dribble drives, he had 3 separate scores in the 2-man action with Jokic, and he added one of his patented post scores. If you're just tuning into the Nuggets as a watcher, as a casual just viewer of the team, and you're listening to an Altitude Sports broadcast, you'll hear the term vintage Murray being brought up as the season goes on, and we've heard it a couple times on the broadcast already. Vintage Murray refers to the shot creator, refers to the dynamic scorer that can pop off for a random 50-point game in the regular season, a random 40-point game, and can consistently hit that 22 to 25 point per game mark. He's been playing with Jokic, so his scoring, I think, is a little bit tampered down than what it can be. But the good thing with Jokic is that he's taking a back seat to allow Jamal Murray to get back into this flow. The games are going on, his shot attempts are going back up, his minutes are going back up, his efficiency is reaching back up to around that like 44-45% mark that we were used to seeing from him. We're seeing a lot of what vintage Murray is supposed to be in a lot of these games, and that's kind of why I wanted to give you guys a scoring breakdown of how he's been getting his buckets, and as we will highlight in this next game against the Clippers, how he's also impacting the game outside of scoring while he's still getting in his own groove. In this game against the Clippers, he finished with 21 points and 9 assists and only 1 turnover on 9 of 21 from the field and 3 of 9 from 3. The shooting, we can go over the scoring breakdown, but I really wanted to highlight the playmaking of this game more than anything else. There was a lot more variety in this game and how he was getting his buckets, obviously less efficient than the Rockets game, showing off what he can do, different levels of the game, different levels of offense, that sort of thing. Let's turn our attention over to the playmaking a little bit because, as I mentioned, he had 9 assists to 1 turnover. And this is something that I think more this season has been developing a lot for Jamal Murray. So I briefly mentioned how he's trying to find his impact outside of scoring while he's getting back into his regular groove. You cannot be a 0 in every single other area of basketball while you're trying to figure out and struggle with your own offensive game. It hurts a contending team. And I'm not going to say names and I'm not going to allude to anybody. Jamal Murray has upped his playmaking skill. The types of passes that he's making the right reads at the right time. He's identifying when he's doubled. He's running the two-man game with Jokic. His skill in the pick and roll is increasing as well. Types of reads he's making. He's not always just going to the Jokic dump down. He's hitting the corner three now. He's looking behind him. He's making the behind the back passes to the top key three open guy. And it's really nice to see. He's really taking advantage of the dribble drive and kick. It's all really good things to see because you're now noticing that teams are recognizing him as an offensive threat again. Someone who is going to punish you if you don't give him the adequate amount of attention, especially when he's driving into the lane, because as we all know, Jamal Murray is historically one of the better guard finishers in the league. He requires a lot of attention, and he's abusing that by throwing it out to one of his many, many options elsewhere in the offense. And I'm very impressed with that. This last game I want to highlight is one against the Thunder, and I think this was kind of like a turning point in Jamal Murray's season this year. He scored 24 points on 8 of 19 from the field. Aside from how else he was scoring the ball, there was the dunk, the one reverse dunk that he did that kind of just came out of nowhere. It looked like he was going up for a layup, and then he threw it down. Right, it was a very impressive dunk.
In the paint, Dort's got 16, so does Giddey. Gilgeous-Alexander with 33, and dunking it in there was Murray.
I think that was just like that was a moment of realization for himself that, okay, my body is getting back to standard. And he had mentioned during the earlier parts of the season that he wanted to get back to the point where he was throwing his body at big men, throwing his body at 7-footers and just being comfortable with how he was in the air. The way he's finishing now, how he's attacking the rim, you see that mentality slowly coming back, because it's always a game of can your mental match up, or can your body and your mental get back to your standard? Because you know within you where you should be and where your standard is. You need everything else to catch up to that. And right now, everything is catching up for Jamal Murray. It's very fun. It's very, very fun to see him progress like this. And it's like reliving his career journey all over again, right? You see these guys come in as rookies, get their NBA legs under them, get their play style firmly intact, and figure out what their role is going to be on their teams, in the league, wherever. These types of situations where one of your favorite guys is coming back from injury, a very long injury, it's like that process. There were some rough games. There were some games in the middle of this stretch where he was breaking in the clutch. That hurt to watch. It hurt very, very much. But we're seeing the payouts now. And it's so much better when you know what they can get back to. And then you see the flashes. The 31 points against the Rockets. 9 assists, 1 turnover against the Clippers. 2-man game with Jokic is looking as good as ever. Highlight plays are there. The dynamic step backs and space creation on his ISOs. It's back. It's coming back. So now it's a game of, okay, can he get back to the standard? But also, where does he go from here? I'm really excited to see that and how it plays out on this team. I think that is all I got for this video. I really liked making this one. It was super fun. Smile never really left my face because one of my favorite guys is finally coming back. He's getting comfortable, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the season is going to hold. So thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Like, subscribe. If you're new, tell a friend. That's it. Have a good one. Peace out.